guys, today we're gonna learn properties of exponents. So anything raised 0th power equals 1. 1 raised 0th power equals 1. 2 raised 0th power equals 1. 3 raised 0th power equals 1. Okay? That's the first one you gotta know. That's the first one, okay? So let's go do adding exponents, okay? So x raised to the m times x raised to the n. You can do this while the bases are the same and the exponents are different or the same, okay? Equals x raised to the m plus n. Let's go do an example. 2 cubed times 2 cubed. 3 plus 3 equals 6. And then 2 raised to the 6th power equals 64. Okay, so 2 squared times 2 cubed equals 2 raised to 2 plus 3, which equals 2 raised to the 5th power, which equals 32. Okay, so let's go do subtracting exponents. Okay, subtracting exponents. What is x raised to the m divided by x raised to the n? Remember, you can only apply this rule when the bases are the same and the exponents are different or the same. Okay? So this is like a version of it. I'll probably post the videos of it, the versions of it. Okay, so this actually equals x raised to m minus n. But let's go do an example. What is 2 raised to the 9th power over 2 cubed? This actually equals 9 minus 3. 2 raised to the 9 minus 3 equals 2 raised to the 6th power, which equals 64. Okay, then what about multiplying exponents? We're gonna go to negative exponents in just a second. So what is 2 cubed over 2 raised to the 9th power? What does that actually equal to? So you gotta use this property. X raised to the negative n equals 1 over x to the n. It takes the reciprocal of that, and while taking the exponent, while taking the reciprocal of it, the signs change, or the signs flip. Okay, so 3 minus 9 is negative 6. 2 raised to the negative 6 equals 1 over 2 raised to the 6th power, which equals 1 over 64. It's going to be smaller. It's smaller than 2 raised to the 6th power. That's actually a decimal too. Okay? If you convert it to a decimal. Okay, let's go get back onto multiplying exponents. So x raised to the m raised to n equals x raised to the mn. So you gotta multiply those two numbers, okay? Those two exponents. So what is 2 cubed squared? This actually equals 2 raised to the 3 times 2, which equals 2 raised to the 6th power, okay? Which equals 64. And what about dividing exponents? So what is x raised to the 1/2? I'll give you a hint. The denominator becomes the index, and then this becomes the exponent. Does this remind you of something? Yes or no? Yes, it actually does. It actually kind of reminds you of a square root. It reminds me of a square root. So this actually equals the square root of x. You don't have to write the index or exponents since they're invisible. So let's go do like 4 raised to the 1/2. Okay? We're taking the square root of it. If you raise anything to 1/2, it actually equals the square root of the base number. So this actually equals the square root of 2. I mean the square root of 4, which equals 2. Okay? And what um and what if it was 2 raised to the 1/2? It's gonna be equal to the square root of 2, which we can't evaluate. So if you type it in a calculator, it should approximately give you, since this is an irrational number, this actually approximates to 1.414, and then those are the numbers. Okay? You don't have to use a calculator, but yeah. Then I have a question for you. What is x raised to 1/3? This actually equals the cube root of x. Okay, so let's go do 2 raised to the 1/3. What this actually equals to? This actually equals the cube root of 2. Okay, if it's raised to 1/4, it's gonna actually take the 4th root of a base number. So let's go do if the numerator is greater than 1. So let's go do 16 raised to the 3/4, for example. So there's a parenthesis. I gotta do it because I need to take the something of the base. So this but I'll but this numerator over here, 3, becomes the exponent outside of the parenthesis. Okay? But we're gonna take the 4th root of 16. But we're gonna write it as 16 raised to the 1/4, okay? Since 1/4 times 3 equals 3/4, okay? So this actually equals the 4th root of 16, okay? You gotta evaluate what's in parentheses. Because if you multiply 1/4 by 3, it's gonna take you back to 3/4, so you don't wanna do that. So the 4th root of 16 equals 2, because 2 raised to the 4th power equals 16. Or 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 equals 16. So, by the way, when it becomes one number, the parentheses disappear. You don't have to write the parentheses. Giving us 2 cubed, which equals 8. Let's go try another example. Let's go try 32 raised to the 2/4. No. Let's go try another one. What is 81 raised to the 3/4? Finally, I got a problem. So this actually equals the fourth root. I mean, you gotta put the numerator outside the parentheses, okay? And then and then and then 1/4. Hold on, you don't have to. And then you don't have to write the exponents. Write the one over here. This actually equals the fourth root of 81. What is the fourth root of 81 equal to? 3 raised to the fourth equals 81. So that means 3 is the fourth root of 81. Which meaning the parentheses disappear. 3 cubed equals 27. That's it, guys. Bye.